Hey there, scrappy gals and guys. Suzanne here in the studio today to talk about the scrapbooking workshop. It's the little things. This was close to my heart's February special. And for those of you who were lucky enough to grab it while it was available, let me give you a couple of quick tips on how to get a little more from the workshop. Also, I had just purchased the close to my heart T-square ruler. And I want you to know I give this a B+ right off the bat. I think I'm going to like it even more once I get used to using it. I had been using a different company's 14-inch ruler that was not a T-square. So this has some definite advantages over that. But like I said, I'm not used to using it quite yet. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's look at the 3 double layouts that they showed in this workshop. These are very fun. And I did these pretty much as they were directed, except that instead of using a dotted stamp that I would have had to line up across here, I went ahead and used a little bit of washi tape. This was a really cute stamp set. I really like this, but as you know, I'm not crazy about these stamps that you have to make borders from. I don't like to take the time to line them up. I'm a little patient that way. But we used all but 4 of these. We didn't use this, that, or that stickers. So, not sticker stamps, but very good stamp set. I can see using this again and again. I especially like the butterfly. Okay, here's that. As you can see here, we're using some silver metallic. They were using a metallic paint marker. I did not have the paint marker. I only had a metallic ink marker, but it worked just as right. Well, it's basically a slick writer in silver. So it worked really well. Okay. Here's the second double. Here I made a little boo-boo. These should have been the opposite way, starting with the red at the outside and moving the other way, but it doesn't really matter. Very fun. Again, here, this is pretty much done to spec. I think there was another stamp here called You and Me, but I wasn't necessarily sure I was going to use this for pictures of me and somebody else. It might have just been others, so I didn't do that. Here's where the T-square ruler really came in handy. This is made to really hook on to the edge of a piece of cardstock or pattern paper. So this was really easy to do the straight lines with. I found it less easy to do these 1/4-inch dots because there are so many markings on here. They've marked it down to a 1/16 of an inch. And honestly, I think that's too many markings on one side. Since this is, I think it's an 1/8 of an inch over here, that's just really too much. I wish they hadn't done that. And then also I find if I'm going to use this, I'm going to have to line things up above it instead of below it because I'm used to having my numbers on this edge and they have it on this edge. So that'll take a little getting used to. But like I said, it's nice and sturdy. So it has served its purpose well. Okay, let's go on to the third one. Here on this one, we were hand drawing our lines with the silver marker. And then we were backing our torn paper. Here, if you go and look at the cutting directions, and I put the revised cutting directions in order to be able to get the other page out of this on my blog. I did it at the end of February. So if you're watching my blog, you would have seen that before the special is over. So there's just another reason why you might want to make sure you're watching the blog as well as my YouTube channel. Anyway, so here we have, since I decided to use these little bow paper, since we had bows here, I like that design the best. I did top and bottom on both pages. The design originally called for it to be side and side here. But since I wanted my pattern to be going in the same direction, I did 2 here and 2 here. This is very fun. Lots of edging on this. And here I did take the time to actually stamp on a piece of paper. I guess I felt less intimidated because we were doing it on paper instead of directly on the background. So there's those three. Nice, very nice layouts. Okay, then their single that I turned into a double is right here. Let me point out just a couple of tips here. Tip number one, I made sure that my papers on the inside edges lined up so this pattern continues. And you should be able to do that on yours as well. And then I just decided to make it symmetrical here and here. This matches this matches this. Very fun, don't you think? The other change I had to make is, since I didn't want it to look like it started and stopped with a bow and then restarted and stopped again with a bow, on the insides, I just wrapped the cord around the back and secured it with some washi tape. One quick tip I have for getting nice uniform dovetails here, or fishtails, whatever you want to call them, is I actually use a stamp. And here I used a 1 3/8 inch stamp. For example, here is the piece of paper. What I would do here on the back is I would draw a line right down the middle, and then I would use that line in order to line this up on the back. And then just punch it. That way you get a nice uniform fishtail, and you actually end up with little triangles that I could have used on another layout. So that was very fun. Another big change is on the love. I did not color these silver. That just didn't appeal to me. I thought they faded away too much. So what I decided to do is everywhere where it changed shade of color, I just drew a little silver line. And then that picked up the silver from these 3 enamel dots. Sort of repeating everything on this page. I had to add something because we only got 4 of these tabs. So on 2 of these, I used some other things too, other stickers, in order to make something similar. I really thought this was a cute idea, decorating the bottom of these sort of Polaroids. And then here I used the Enjoy Life and a couple other stickers. And then I put a flower down here on this journaling strip. So we've got flowers offsetting here, and then we've got words offsetting here. So pretty cute, huh? I really like the way this turned out. I'm glad I did it as a double. This would work especially good as the first and last pages of an album. But again, if they are in the album next to each other, your inside matches up. So that's really a good detail there. Okay, at this point I had exactly 5 pieces of the 6x6 paper left. I had 2 each of 2 designs, and then I had, as I showed you, I had one 6x6 of the pink and blue. And then I also had a set of the mini album die cuts, which were, I think, an additional $4.95. So these black die cuts, and in there, they had 6 of these sort of vertical looking Polaroid shots. And so I kind of took that as my cue. From black cardstock, I made Polaroid frames for 4x4 photos. And then I used this stripe sticker across the bottom. And then I put smile here and love this here. Then they had lots of these cool words. Remember this day, how cool, love this, fun times. Okay, and then on the 6 frames here, some of these might get little photos added to them, but I went ahead and I did 2 in pink and 2 in blue. And I could have done the last 2, 1 in pink and 1 in blue as well. But instead, I decided to opt for a journaling strip here, and then just a piece of black and white close to my heart scrap from an old workshop there. Then we did clusters. So here we have some stamped and die cut, or stamped and fussy cut rather, flowers. A couple of floral stickers added in, and then these beautiful flower die cuts that I still had left. And then I had plenty of stickers to do a little something here on each of these. So this was very fun. And then because I still had a little bit more white space than I was comfortable out here, I stamped some butterflies and then I splattered some lemonade shimmer trim. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. I did that 2 times over here and 1 time over here. So again, we have a lot of white space on these. So I think these 2 pages really do look like they fit with the rest of the workshop, don't you? What did I have left over at that point? These are the only stickers I had left. I had quite a few of some of the smaller black die cuts because I had started with the extra sheet. In fact, I even ordered, or I should say misordered, I have a pack of the mini album die cuts. So if you ordered this workshop for the scrapbooking and would like to have the mini album die cuts, leave me a comment telling me something you liked about my video, and that way I will draw a winner at random from the commenters and I'll send this to you. Okay? So that's all I have for today. This was a short break from our current series, Stash Bashing Through Challenges, so that will be coming up again soon. In the meantime, I hope you're enjoying all the little things about scrapbooking. Okay? As always, thanks for your time and attention. Bye for a bit.